It was a cold, quiet night on the edge of Sector 9. The forest stood still, dark and silent. Only one man was awake, Ray, a repair tech living in a small cabin near the old human outpost. He was fixing a broken tool when the ground shook. A loud boom hit the sky. It was not thunder. It was something else. Ray rushed outside. A strange light flashed across the clouds, like a fireball falling from space. It crashed into the woods, not far from his home. Ray grabbed his flashlight and a jacket. Might be a ship, he said to himself, or worse. He followed the smoke trail through the dark trees. The wind was cold. The forest was too quiet. No birds, no sounds. Finally he reached a small clearing. His eyes widened. There, half buried in the dirt, was a strange metal pod, not from Earth. Smooth, round, glowing blue lines. The crash had burned the trees around it. The pod hissed. Something inside was moving. Ray stepped back. Is someone in there? The pod cracked open. And then he saw her. She was lying curled up inside, shivering. A young girl. Not human. Her skin was pale silver. Her eyes were large and glowing faint blue. She had no clothes, just a soft silver wrap that barely covered her. She looked up at Ray with wide, sad eyes. She didn't speak. She didn't move. She looked lost and afraid. Ray didn't know what to do. He looked around. No one else was here. Are you hurt? He asked. No answer. He took off his jacket and gently wrapped it around her. It's okay. You're safe now, he said. But even he wasn't sure if that was true. Ray brought her back to his cabin. He turned off his scanner, didn't want the base to know. He gave her food, but she didn't eat. She sat in the corner, shaking, eyes full of fear. He spoke softly, slowly. What's your name? Still no answer. I'll call you Anna. Is that okay? She didn't react. But she looked at him, and her eyes blinked slow. The next morning, Ray checked the forest again. But the pod was gone. Only the burned trees remained. No marks. No tracks. Nothing. His heart pounded. Someone found it. Someone erased it. Back at the cabin, Anna sat quietly. She had drawn shapes in the dirt with her finger. Strange symbol circles and lines repeated over and over. Ray sent a picture of the symbols to an old friend, Jace, a researcher who studied alien tech. A reply came fast. Where did you get these? This is not good. Listen to me. Destroy them. Don't keep them. Don't ask questions. Ray stared at the message. His hands were cold. He looked at Anna. She stared at him too, like she knew he had seen something. Dangerous, who are you? He whispered. That night, Ray couldn't sleep. He locked the doors. He turned off all signals. The wind howled outside. Anna sat near the fire. She hadn't spoken a word. Then suddenly, she looked up. Her body shook. Her mouth opened, and she gasped. She screamed. A loud, painful scream. Ray jumped up. What's wrong? What is it? She pointed at the wall. Ray looked, but saw nothing. He heard it. A hum. A small black drone passed over the cabin. Silent, fast. It hovered for a second, then disappeared into the sky. Anna whispered a word, her first word. Run. Ray's heart stopped. What did you say? She stood up, weak, shaking. Run, she said again, louder this time. Ray looked outside. Nothing there. No lights. No sound, but something was coming. He felt it. He packed quickly. Supplies, water, a small pistol. Anna watched him with tired eyes. They left the cabin that night, walking into the deep forest. Away from roads. Away from scanners. Ray didn't know who she was or what she was running from. But one thing was clear. She wasn't safe. And now, neither was he. He held her hand as they moved through the trees. The stars above were quiet. The world around them was dark, but danger was watching, and it had already found them. A strange wind passed through the forest that night. It wasn't cold, but it made the trees whisper like something alive was moving through them. Ray didn't sleep. Anna sat beside him under a thick blanket, her eyes wide open, staring into the dark. Somewhere out there, something was looking for her. For then Ray checked the scanner again. No signals, no warnings. But he didn't trust the screen. He trusted his gut, and his gut said they weren't alone. They kept walking until the sun rose. Anna didn't speak, but every time a branch cracked or a bird flew overhead, she flinched. She was scared, but it was more than fear. It was like she remembered something. Something bad. They found an old hunter's shack deep in the woods. It was broken, covered in vines, and smelled like rust. But it had 4 walls and a roof. Ray decided to stop and rest. Anna sat down on the floor. Her body was shaking. She closed her eyes. Then suddenly, she whispered something so soft Ray almost didn't hear it. "They're close." Ray froze. "Who's close?" She didn't answer. She just hugged her knees and rocked back and forth. Her skin glowed faintly again. That strange soft light from inside her. It only happened when she was afraid. Ray stepped outside and looked up at the sky. Nothing. But then he heard it. A low hum. He ran back inside, grabbed his binoculars, and climbed the stairs of the shack. Through the cracked wooden roof, he saw a shape in the sky. Small, black, fast, a drone. Same as last night, but this one stopped. It hovered in the air above the trees. It didn't move. It was listening. Ray dropped down and pulled Anna close. "They found us." She nodded slowly, like she already knew. That night, Anna woke Ray up by pulling his arm hard. She was shaking, breathing fast. "I remember," she said. He sat up. "Remember what?" She touched her head. "Running. Lights. Pain." She pointed to her back. Ray moved her shirt gently. A small scar, smooth like glass, sat just above her shoulder blade. Almost invisible. But when he touched it, she flinched. "They put something in me," she said. "Who?" But she wouldn't say. She just looked at the floor. Ray checked his gear again. Then, curious, he opened his radio, an old shortwave device from Earth days. It hadn't worked in years. Tonight it did. Static buzzed. Then a voice came through. Not a human voice. It was too flat. Too smooth. Like a computer trying to sound real. "Ray Carter," the voice said. He dropped the radio. Anna's eyes widened. "They found your name." Ray picked up the radio, his hands shaking. "Give her back," the voice said. Ray didn't speak. The voice grew colder. "You have one chance. Give her back, or we take her." Then it went silent. Anna was staring at the radio. Her lips were tight. Her whole body was stiff like stone. "They won't stop," she whispered. Ray didn't ask who they were anymore. He understood now. She wasn't a lost alien girl. She was a target. And someone had gone to great lengths to hide the truth. He remembered the message from his friend Jace, the symbols Anna drew, the ones he was told to destroy. He pulled them up on his datapad again. Circles, lines, strange repeating shapes. He looked at Anna. She stared at the pad, then back at him. And finally she spoke again. "I didn't crash. I escaped." Ray's heart skipped a beat. She looked outside. They had others. I was the only one who made it out. They'll do anything to get me back. Ray grabbed his bag. "We're not staying here," he said. Anna nodded. They walked into the night again. The stars blinked above them like eyes in the sky. The trees around them stood tall, silent, almost like they were watching too. Ray held Anna's hand tighter. He didn't know where they were going now. He just knew one thing. If she was running from something that could speak through dead radios and erase crash pods like they never existed, then they weren't just in danger. They were part of something bigger. And it had just begun. The fire had burned low. Only red coals were left, glowing like dying stars. Ray sat with his back against A rock, his arm around Anna. The night was quiet. Too quiet. She hadn't spoken again. Not since she said, "I escaped." Now she just stared into the flames, her silver eyes dim. Ray's radio, which he kept off, suddenly blinked red. He reached for it slowly. It turned on by itself. Static. Then a sound, soft at first. A whisper. Not words, just his name. Ray. Ray. He froze. Anna's body tensed against his side. She looked at the radio, breathing fast. Then the whisper became a voice. Clear. Cold. Not human. "You are not alone. Ray, you were never alone." The voice made the trees seem smaller. The sky seemed darker. "Return what does not belong to you. Return the girl." Ray dropped the radio. It hit the ground, still speaking. The voice didn't care. "She's not yours. She is marked." Then, silence. The light went off. Anna looked at him, her face pale. "They found us again," she said. Ray didn't ask how. He already knew they were being tracked, not just by machines. By something else. They moved at sunrise. No more camps, no more fire, no more signals. They found shelter in the ruins of a comms tower. The metal walls were broken and rusted, but the underground room was dry and hidden. Ray tried to rest, but Anna began to shake again. She grabbed her head. She cried without tears. Then she started drawing in the dirt again, but this time it wasn't the same symbols. It was a face. Not human. Not alien. Wrong. It had no eyes. Just dark pits. Its mouth was wide open. Ray looked at the drawing. "Who is that?" Anna touched it slowly. "They call it the Watcher." He felt his chest tighten. "Is that what's after you?" She nodded. "He speaks through machines. He sees through metal. He lives in places without light." Ray stepped back. "You mean he's alive?" Anna nodded again. "He's not a man, not a robot. He's something else." She looked up at Ray, her voice shaking. "They built him. Long ago. Now he builds himself." Ray didn't understand everything, but he understood one thing. This Watcher didn't just want her. He needed her, and Ray had just made himself the wall between them. That night, the tower's walls began to hum, faint, like a heartbeat in metal. Ray woke up, gun in hand. Anna stood up too. There were no footsteps. No sound outside, but the hum was real. Suddenly, Anna screamed. Her body lifted off the ground. Just a little. Her eyes went white. Ray ran to her. "Anna." She pointed to the broken screen in the wall. It lit up. Words appeared on it, words in English. "This is your last chance." Then the screen cracked and shattered. Anna fell back to the ground, gasping. Ray held her, his voice shaking. "What do they want from you?" She looked at him. Her eyes were clearer now. "They put something in me," she said. "Not just a chip, a message, a key. To what? To war." Ray didn't blink. She leaned closer, whispered into his ear. "If they get me, Earth will burn." They didn't sleep that night. Ray sat awake, holding his weapon. Anna curled beside him, quiet again, but deep inside the walls. Something was still listening. The Watcher was not far now, and time was running out. Asterisk. It began with a smell. Ray noticed at first something sharp in the air. Not smoke, not dirt. Something. Metal, blood maybe. He and Anna had been walking for 3 days, deeper into the wild zones. No roads, no drones, no signals. Just trees, wind, and silence. But now that silence felt wrong. They found the building by accident. A long dead outpost from the old wars. Half buried in vines, covered in moss. The door creaked when Ray pushed it open. Inside, the walls were scratched. Long, deep claw marks. Ray slowly raised his flashlight. More marks, not just claws. Burn holes. Bullet dents. And on one wall, written in old human blood, 5 words. "It follows. It never stops." Anna didn't step inside. She just stood at the doorway, staring at the message. I've seen this before, she said. Ray turned to her. Where? She looked down. In the place I escaped from. On a wall. Someone else wrote it before they died. Ray scanned the room again. Something had happened here. Something bad. Something smart enough to leave no bodies, but not kind enough to leave survivors. That night, they stayed in the outpost's lower level. It was cold. The wind howled through the broken vents. Ray set up motion sensors. Enna didn't eat. She sat in a corner, knees pulled to her chest. I feel it, she whispered. It's near. Ray checked the sensors again. Nothing. Then, in the early hours before sunrise, he heard it. Not a drone. Footsteps. Slow. Careful. Not machines. Something heavier. Breathing. Ray aimed his weapon toward the stairs. He waited. No sound now. Just silence again. But then he saw it. Not a man. Not fully. A shape moved past the hallway, tall, wearing armor, helmet glowing with red lines. A mercenary. Ray had seen their kind before, hunters, trained to catch things that shouldn't exist. Enna gasped. She clutched her head. He's one of them. Ray pulled her behind him. How many? I don't know, she said. But he's not alone. They don't come alone. Ray set a trap at the door and moved them out the back. The forest welcomed them with cold fog and wet grass. Behind them, a soft explosion told him the trap went off. But no scream. Whoever that hunter was, he survived it. They ran. By daylight, Enna was weak. She fell once, then twice. Ray carried her on his back. She was burning with heat now. Something inside her was changing. I can't hold it, she whispered. It's waking up. What is? She looked up at the sky. Her skin shimmered. They made me a weapon, but I don't want to be one. Ray said nothing. He just kept moving. They reached a canyon edge by noon, a wide drop. No way across. Ray cursed under his breath. Enna opened her eyes. I can try. Try what? She stood, her legs shaking, and raised her hand. A soft light formed in her palm, gold and silver. Like small stars. It floated forward and touched the air. For a moment, a narrow bridge of light appeared. Then her knees gave out, and she collapsed. Ray caught her. Behind them, a voice echoed across the trees. I see you. Ray turned. The hunter stood on a high rock, gun in hand, armor shining black. You're not supposed to be alive, the man said to Enna. She didn't answer. I killed your brothers. I burned your sisters. But you're different. Ray stepped between them. You're not taking her. The hunter smiled. Not yet, he said. I want her to see what's coming first. Then he vanished into the woods. Not ran. Not flew. Vanished. Ray held Enna close. Her eyes were half closed. She was whispering something in a language he didn't understand. But one word repeated again and again. Fire. Ray looked at the sky. A storm was coming. Not rain. Something worse. And the hunters were only the beginning. Asterisk. The fire didn't burn wood. It burned air. Ray watched as the flame danced above Enna's chest, floating inches from her skin. It made no smoke, no heat. Just light that pulsed with her heartbeat. She wasn't asleep. Not anymore. She was somewhere else. Her eyes were open, but not seeing. Her lips moved, but no sound came. Ray leaned closer. Enna? She didn't blink. Then her voice changed. Not her. Real voice. A deeper one. Like many voices at once. They're almost here. Ray stepped back. Who's speaking? Enna's eyes turned white. They will burn your sky. They will drink your oceans. They will leave nothing. Ray felt ice crawl up his back. Why? Enna slowly looked at him. Her face had no fear now. Because they were made to destroy. And I was made to stop them. Her body dropped limp. Ray caught her before she hit the ground. Her skin was cold. Her breathing weak. She was fading. Later that night, after the storm passed, she woke up. No glowing eyes. No strange voice. Just Ina again. He gave her water. She held the cup with shaking hands. Then for the first time she told him everything. I wasn't born like you. I was grown, in a lab, on a dark station. There were many like me, but I was the only one who survived testing. Ray listened, saying nothing. They put things inside us. Not just chips, codes, weapons, things older than Earth. She paused. They called me Unit 9, but I broke their system. I saw something they didn't want me to see. What? Ray asked. She looked up, eyes full of pain. A map. He frowned. A map of what? Earth, and how to end it. Ray's chest went tight. They trained us to hate humans, and it continued. But I didn't feel hate, I felt wrong. Like I was missing something. One day, I escaped. I took the map with me. I burned my way out and crashed here. Ray sat down beside her. So you're not just running from them. She nodded. I'm running from what's inside me. She touched her chest, just above her heart. They don't just want me back. They want the map I carry. It's not paper. It's part of me. If they get it, it's over. Ray looked at her. Can we remove it? She shook her head. If you try, I die. If they take me, everyone dies. He stood up, pacing. There has to be a way. There is, she said quietly. I can show the truth. To Earth. But I need a powerful signal. One strong enough to reach human command. Ray thought for a second. There's only one place like that left. Anna nodded before he even finished. The Sky Tower, they both said at the same time. A place far away, abandoned, guarded, but still alive. Still transmitting. Ray grabbed his gear. We go now. But Anna didn't move. I won't survive it, she said. Ray stopped. You saw what I can do. Every time I use my power, I burn a little more. I wasn't made to live long. Ray clenched his fists. You don't get to give up. Not now. She looked at him and smiled just a little. I'm not giving up, she said. I'm giving. What's left? Outside, the wind blew hard. The stars blinked like warning lights, and far in the sky, a ship was falling silent, black, and coming fast. The hunters were not chasing anymore. They were arriving. Ray looked at Anna. We go together. All the way. She reached out and took his hand. This wasn't just her fight anymore. It was humanity's. The sky didn't scream when the ship came down. It whispered. A thin line of black smoke stretched across the clouds like a scar. Quiet but heavy, heading straight for the planet's heart. Ray and Anna were already moving. They had stolen an old sand glider from a deserted station, barely held together by rust and hope. The engine coughed and groaned, but it moved. Fast enough. In the back seat, Anna was curled in a blanket. Her skin had gone pale, almost see-through. The light inside her, once soft alive, now flickered like a dying candle. Ray drove harder. Had only one shot. The Sky Tower was once the biggest signal post in the quadrant, built to reach Earth across systems. Now it stood half dead in the desert, broken by years of storms and silence. But it still had power. They arrived at night. The tower was a black skeleton in the sand. Wires dangled like webs, doors blown open. Bones of old workers buried under dust. Ray lifted Anna in his arms. Her body was light now. Too light. They climbed the service ladder. Step by step. Breath by breath. Above them, the clouds began to burn orange. Not from sunlight. From arrival. Anna opened her eyes halfway. They're almost here, Ray nodded. We beat them. That's what matters. They reached the comms chamber. The room was dead. But Ray got to work fast. He bypassed old wires, reconnected the grid, and forced a weak signal online. Static. Then a pulse. He looked at her. It's ready. Anna stood, though. Her legs trembled. She stepped to the center of the floor. She placed her hand on the transmitter core. Her whole body lit up. The tower hummed. Lights flickered to life. Dials spun. Screens turned on for the first time in years. Then her voice echoed through every open frequency in the system. A soft voice, full of sadness and truth. This is not a warning. It is a final chance. She sent memories, visions, images of cages, screams, test rooms, cold stars, and dead sisters. She showed them the Watcher, the black shape inside the void. The thing humans didn't know existed, the thing coming for them, back on Earth. Someone was watching. They had to be, because the signal went through. Confirmed. But the victory was short. The tower shook. Explosions echoed from below. The mercenaries had arrived. Too late to stop the message. But not too late for revenge. Ray grabbed Anna and ran. The stairs collapsed behind them. Bullets shattered the walls. Fire licked the air. Outside, the black ship hovered like a god made of steel. Ray's glider was gone, burned to ash. They had nowhere to go. He held Anna tight. "I'm sorry," he whispered. She looked at him, smiling faintly. "I'm not." Then she let go. Her body rose into the air. Light poured from her eyes, her mouth, her hands. The mercenaries froze. The ship stopped moving. Anna became a star. One final burst of light filled the sky, so bright, it turned night into day. And then silence. Ray woke up in a hospital days later. He was alive. The war had not started. Not yet, but Earth knew now. And Anna was gone. Not forgotten. Never forgotten. On his wrist, he wore a tiny metal chip. The last thing she gave him, a message that only he could hear whenever he needed to remember. A soft voice saying, "I had nothing, but I gave everything." The sky never looked the same after she was gone. Every night, one star blinked brighter than the rest. It wasn't real. It wasn't even a star. It was a memory. Ray stood on the cliff edge, wind pushing against his jacket, staring at that single point of light. Behind him, Earth moved like it always did, busy, loud, alive. But something had changed. People were preparing now. Satellites carried her warning. Military labs replayed her voice 100 times a day. Leaders held secret meetings. No one said her name in public, but they all knew what she had done. She had stopped the first attack, and she had given them time. That was the message. But the sacrifice, that was hers alone. Ray carried the chip she gave him in his jacket, always close. But today, it was burning in his hand. He hadn't played it in weeks. He pressed the button, and her voice filled the air. "This is for those who still believe. For those who still hope. I am not your enemy. I was made to destroy, but I chose something else." Ray closed his eyes. "I chose to save what I never had, a home." Then silence. He opened his eyes. Behind the clouds, a shadow passed. Ray turned. A ship landed on the hill nearby, clean, white, marked with Earth's new defense seal. A young woman stepped out. Soldier. Pale. Calm. "You're Ray Carter?" she asked. He nodded once. She handed him a small device. "What's this?" "A message," she said, "from orbit." Ray tapped the screen. A single line appeared. "It is waking up again." He stared at it. She looked serious. "We think it's coming from deep space. Same signal pattern as the one she warned us about." Ray looked back at the sky. The Watcher hadn't forgotten. And this time, Anna wasn't here to stop it, but he was. He looked at the soldier. "Then we don't wait." She raised an eyebrow. "What are you planning to do?" He slipped the chip into the device. "Anna's last light. I'm going to remind Earth who saved them," he said, "and why we don't run anymore." She nodded. "Orders?" "Yeah," Ray said, turning toward the ship. "Start building. We fight it this time, together." As they lifted off, the wind blew harder. Ray looked out the window one last time. At the point of light that wasn't a star, he touched the glass. "Rest now," he whispered. "You did your part." Then he turned away into the light, into the future, into a fight she had died to give them a chance to win. And far beyond the stars, deep in the black between galaxies, something opened its eyes.